All right, we'll call the March 15th meeting of the Kingston Springs Board of Commissioners to order. Could everyone please rise and face the flag? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, John, can you call the roll?
Gary Corlew.
Here.
Tony Gross.
Here.
Jeff Lorenz.
Here.
Remick.
Here.
Bob Stover.
Here.
All right, and we've had the minutes circulated from the last meeting. Everyone's had a chance to go over those. Do we have anything to add or change to that? Anything? Do we have a motion to approve?
Motion to approve.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. We have, the agenda has been circulated, but we do have one additional item under surplus items. Item C will be a taser. So that would be the only thing I have. Do we have a motion to approve the city, or the commission agenda as amended?
Motion to approve the agenda as amended.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, motion passes. Announcements from commissioners. Jeff, you got anything?
Retreat was good. Beyond that, no.
Go ahead.
On the 24th, I think it was the 24th of February, we had the Harpeth Conservancy plant 350 trees at Burns Park. You can identify them by the lovely pink ribbon wrapped around them all.
Great.
So we're happy to have this addition to the park.
Gary, you got anything?
Don't have anything.
Yeah. Bob?
I'd just like to thank John and staff for the retreat. It was well received by everybody, I think.
Good snacks.
Good. Thank you.
Well, that's all I got to is good retreat. It's always a good time of the year to kind of pull everything together and kind of gets us, I think, started for the coming year and sets a standard for us to try to follow through on. So, all right, community input. If you've got anything you'd like to say addressing the commission, just step up there, state your name and address. John, if you'd like to introduce yourself, this would be a great time. You're on the agenda, so we'll get to you when we get to your agenda item. So.
Hello, I'm John Patrick, and I live in Cheatham County over by Ashen City, and I am running for the House seat District 78. And I'm just here to listen and learn and see how I may serve as so elected.
Thanks, sir. All right, department reports have been circulated. We don't really have anyone from departments here. John, do you have anything you'd like to add to those?
I would, thank you, Mr. Mayor. At retreat, there was a mention of the possibility of Kingston Springs being involved in the 911 texting program, similar to what Cheatham County does and Dixon County does. And I reached out to the company, Nixle, that manages that, and was able to get a free account from them for Kingston Springs. So I just wanted to let you know that we're we're up and running. We haven't announced it or launched it out to the public yet, but it'll be KS 911. And it's the same thing. You send a text message, you get a reply, and you send in your zip code. But we can launch that through social media and around town starting tomorrow, if that's still the will of the board.
Sounds good to me.
Okay.
Legal updates?
That's great. That's great.
Yes, I don't really have anything other than the Comcast franchise agreement. We have that coming up for renewal. I have looked through this at all the surrounding communities. Pigram's doing this, Ashland City's doing this. I've had a chance to look through the franchise agreement. Have a couple of changes that I would suggest being made. Just some of them just strictly Scrivener's errors and corrections. Some of them a little bit of just detail change, like notices going from 60 days to 90, just little odds and ends that really matter only to attorneys. So I would like y'all's permission to authorize me to communicate and negotiate with the representative for Comcast, which is Kim Sasser-Hayden, to go ahead and see if we can get this tweaked into a form that I would be content with you all passing, if that's acceptable. I did want to point out, and you all may be aware of this, part of what the city gets back Of course, they get a certain percentage of gross revenues back off of the cable service, but part of what they also get is a community access channel. And that is, I don't know if you all have a copy of the franchise agreement in front of you, but it's in section 9 of that. So it's something that the community may want to think about. You have the obligation to put 8 hours per week of non-duplicative original programming on it. If you don't use it for 3 consecutive months, then they can terminate it and absorb that channel back into their system. But I just wanted to put that out there that you all would have a cable access channel, a local cable access channel, should you so choose to use it. So I guess what I'm looking for is a motion to allow me to talk with Ms. Sasser-Hayden with respect to getting some of these odds and ends tweaked so that we can present it before you all in an ordinance form next month.
Do we have a motion?
Motion.
Second?
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, motion passes. I don't know how we'd fill 8 hours of
Could the high school be involved in that?
content.
Yeah, I mean, the only restriction in here is that it could not, you basically can't put a traffic camera out or computer-generated messages or video bulletin boards. They do not, or other passively produced content does not count towards the programming obligations. But, you know, if you have a group from the high school that is wanting to take on a project like that, that might be something,
They were discussing offering a class on that, but they weren't sure how to do
or
it.
filming some of the theater productions
Mhm,
there.
which is this
or
weekend, yeah.
Any events you have down at the park, you could film that and put it on, and might be nice to have. I just want to make you
Yeah.
aware that it was an option out there.
So an option, just putting a camera on the Harpeth River, watching the water flow by.
I don't think so. No, I think that would be passively produced content.
Passively produced content.
Unless you want
Not
to
if
sit
you see
out.
all the canoers
If you
on
want
the
to sit out,
canoers, too.
if you want to sit out there with the camera, then maybe it would count, so.
Okay, that's an idea.
All right, unfinished business. We have the update on signage for the activity center at LL Burns Park as a dedication to Lori Cooper.
We had, again, talked at retreat, the activity center was going to be dedicated to former city manager Lori Cooper. We had talked at retreat about having signage to match other signage that we have around town. The pavilion at Burns Park is dedicated to former city attorney Larry Craig, and the ballpark at City Park is dedicated to Commissioner Gary Corley. So we would like to update the signage at both of those, along with the signage at the activity center, to match the other signage that we have on the buildings, either at the Fire Hall 1 and Fire Hall 2, or the City Hall and this meeting hall.
Yeah.
So we just wanted to make sure that was okay with everyone, and if that is, then we'll proceed to get quotes
I think so, and of course we need to, at some point, we'll have some sort of a dedication of the building to Ms. Cooper, and I do know for them that their availability is they won't be here the first week of April, which would be too early anyway, and then they're going to be out of town the 16th through the 14th of May, or well, the 16th of April to the 14th of May, so.
Okay.
So I'm thinking maybe later in May would probably be a good
Maybe
time,
the
that gives
third
you
week
plenty
in
of
May.
time, so,
We'll have cake. We'll have cake.
we'll have cake.
When's the
Checks
yard sale? May, right?
What
Citywide.
weekend is the citywide yard sale? Did we?
Is it May 2nd?
I think it's later than that. I don't have the date in front of me.
The
so I'm
first
not sure.
weekend of June is the fishing rodeo. Which, I mean, it could still be that day. I don't know. That might be a little overload for Brandy then.
That would be a lot. There'd be a lot of activity down there.
Yeah.
A lot of attendance.
It's an activity
Should be
center.
8 hours of film.
A lot of cake.
Lots of
We
fun.
could, yeah, we could film it for 8 hours, put it up on cable access. so. All right, update on the Lundy Cup carving for the town.
I've spoken with Lundy a couple of times over the last week. Where we stand right now, he has found a suitable log. It's in Pegram. It's 15 foot long. It's about 3 foot diameter at its longest spot, so it's a pretty large log. It's on a trailer in Pegram. He plans to get it from Pegram to his house to do the carving. It's just more efficient for him to do carving at his house because that's where all his tools are. it would be cumbersome for us to have it somewhere else for him to carve. The issue then will be getting it vertical once it gets to his house, because it's going to be a vertical carving. We have talked with Mr. Bowers, who is our construction under contract, and will most likely use their services to help get that log straight up, rather than city personnel to do such things. But that's where we are right now. He's gonna contact me once that's at his house, and we'll discuss logistics and what we can and can't do after that.
18-foot long? You said 15
is
foot
what he said,
long.
I think. Pretty big.
Did we ever decide on a location we were gonna go with for that? It seems like we kind of,
No, we didn't.
discussed some things, but-
5,500 as far as the money goes, but we have not decided on the location once the carving's.
okay.
Which to be on city property, that's as far as we got.
You know, just right out, yeah, right out,
Oh, yeah, out there.
right outside.
Stick it outside the door.
Left.
All right, new business, Golf Club of Tennessee, presentation on the 2018 U.S. Women's Amateur Tournament. You're on.
All right. Well, thank you, everyone. One, I wanted to come over and introduce myself. Fairly new to, well, really new to Tennessee. Moved here from Montana. My name's David Hardwick. I'm the general manager over the Golf Club of Tennessee. Moved here about 16 months ago or so. Came from Montana and have 4 boys. And we live somewhere between kind of Brentwood and Kingston Springs in that general vicinity. So, so this is kind of put on my plate a little bit. I don't want to say put on my plate as a bad thing, but we're hosting the U.S. Women's Amateur Championship August 6th through the 12th. What that means for Golf Club Kingston Springs is that we're televised on Fox Sports from August 8th through the 12th. There's 23 regional and sectional kind of qualifying sites around the world. It's a more of a, not necessarily a national event, it's kind of a world event. So we 23 sites, narrows it down to 156 women. They'll come here, they'll play 2 rounds of golf stroke play, narrow it down to 64 players, and then play a match play event Wednesday through Sunday. So we're kind of in the process of working with TDOT on some signage off of the freeway, because we will have parking off-site at Royal Range, which we kind of contacted them off of 186.
Yeah, 88.
Wow.
So we probably anticipate anything from a minimum of 500 to 700 people daily, and that doesn't include spectators. Spectators are very much of a unknown. They've seen anything from a couple thousand. I would probably say 2,500, I think, was their biggest day of spectators that they've had. Again, that's why we're parking kind of off-site. If any of you've ever been up to the golf club, parking's very, very much limited. So really the only people that can park there is USGA staff, our staff, and then players and some other spots as well. So we can handle about 250 cars on site. So, you know, it's the 3rd oldest USGA event, and it's a really, really big deal for the golf club, for Nashville, for women's golf, for Kingston Springs, for really kind of anyone in general. So it's a very cool event. It was basically booked probably 4 or 5 years ago, so it's kind of a very long process. So just kind of wanted to, 1, introduce myself, and 2, kind of tell you a little bit about the Women's Amateur Championship. So hopefully you've got a copy of the Championship Times, which is kind of a newsletter that we just started recently sending out. But I'd love to kind of I'll work with John, possibly get everyone's email address, just so we can kind of send it to you as well, so you can get kind of updated. But you know, it's everything from player housing. You know, we've got 40 to 50 members that are basically housing some of these women in usually it's the women range anything from high school, college, and some maybe mid-20s. Not to say a 35-year-old woman couldn't do it, but it is very, very tough competition. So when I truly say it's 156 of the best amateur women in the world, that's the just over 300 volunteers for this event, so that will be needed. So it's anything from spotters to sign bearers, people holding the scoring, and there's a lot involved. So I know that we're just kind of getting into the nuts and bolts. USGA comes out, which is going to be running the event. They come out next week, so I know I need to meet Sheriff's Department, kind of introduce myself to them as well. Definitely want a presence there, kind of the front gate if it's all possible, and kind of be a good neighbor as well, and kind of just come over and say hello.
So you are needing ambulance and police?
Ambulance
Robert's
we've
rules-
got,
Robert's
we've
rules
got,
suspended them.
we did a lot of fundraising for this event. And,
He's on the
it's
agenda.
just about $900,000 kind of event to pull off from start to finish. And we will not need an ambulance. We've contracted, well, in-kind donation from HCA. Will be out here, so, but this would definitely be beneficial at the kind of the front entrance.
And you have
Um,
parking,
Yeah, we'll have credentials, we have parking passes, we'll have, we've engaged Nashville Sports Council to help run the event as well. So they've done, Music City Bowl and Music City Marathon and a lot of other events as well, so.
They plan to shuttle from the gun place.
Mhm. So it'll be every 25 minutes, 30 minutes, just kind of rotating two of them, 32 passenger vans, which will be interesting to see how the 32 passenger van goes up the little hill and the.
It'll be fun.
we drive full school buses,
Yeah.
so it's no big deal.
So it's, we've, again, I'll have a lot better feeling and kind of finger on the pulse come mid next week after the USGA kind of downloads everything to us, but we were presented a 300-page hosting manual from them, so it's a pretty in-depth event, so we're very excited for it.
So I assume it's something that we can't show on our Access channel, our new Access channel.
Why not? It's only 8 hours,
I don't
come
know,
on.
yeah, I was gonna say, I don't know if you have exclusive rights with, but excellent. Well,
So,
this
yeah,
is very
we're,
exciting,
we're
very exciting.
excited.
You make the film, being shuttled from.
Yeah, there you go.
There you go.
That's fun.
There you go, yeah,
Yes.
there's our 8 hours right there.
Yeah, in 2006, a 14-year-old girl won, and last year there was a 10-year-old girl that played in the event. So,
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so there are no age restrictions. I mean, they've had a 55-year-old last year and a 10-year-old, so it was really across the board. So, from an age perspective, so it's very neat. So, well, thanks for listening.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Sounds great.
Absolutely.
All right, item B is motion to review and award bids for the town's 2-year contracts.
We've had 6 2-year contracts that are expiring at the end of this month. We placed advertising and the advocate for the month of February for bids for those 6 contracts. Of those 6 contracts, we received single bids for 3 of them and no bids for 3 of them. I'll start with the suggestions for the contracts we received no bids for. One was vehicle maintenance. In discussing that with the staff, we have reconsidered and recommend that we don't rebid this particular contract because the services are not used very often, and we would like to just go with the 3-quote process moving forward with vehicle maintenance. With general construction, we received no bids, but we would like to rebid that one. Another ad in the paper and possibly spread that out a little wider net. Paving repair, we did not receive any bids, and we would like to rebid that one as well, probably with a wider net. Of the 3 that we did receive bids back for, we received a single bid for septic tank pumping from Elite Septic Service, and their cost figures are here for their newest bid. 1,000-gallon residential was a flat fee for $235, and 1,000-gallon commercial flat fee of $235. And the staff recommends that we accept this bid. The next one is sewer system repair, also a single bid from Elite Septic Service. Their 2018 bid at $85 an hour or charge of $340. And we, as a staff, recommend that we accept this bid as well. The last one is the electrical contractor. We received a single bid for Gaylord Electric. Their 2018 bid was $68 per hour for the journeyman and $55 per hour for an apprentice, a little higher than what we even have now. Because of the cost associated with it and the fact that we don't use this service very often either, we're recommending that we reject this bid, and rather than rebidding electrical service similar to vehicle maintenance, we would like to, moving forward, go with a regular 3-quote process rather than having a 2-year electrical contract.
Okay.
What are your thoughts on that, Martha Brooke?
You know, John and I have talked about that a couple different times, and I think the recommendations they're making are absolutely fine. I mean, in looking back at as far as not rebidding on those contracts, if the staff feels that it's gonna be better service to the town to just do that on a bid-by-bid basis, I think that's perfectly acceptable.
Okay. All right, well, I suppose, should we maybe do this in 2 motions? The first ones would be to, or, well,
You could vote to approve the single bid elite septic for both.
yeah, okay,
Yeah.
so,
Right.
yeah.
And then, I think you,
and then we need to vote to rebid the construction contract and the paving repair contract,
and then I guess you could vote.
to reject the electrical
Yeah, you can
contracting,
either vote to reject it
or approve it.
or approve it, and then, whatever your pleasure is.
Okay, let's just take them one by one. Okay, vehicle maintenance, do we have a motion for this do we have a motion to not rebid this?
Motion to not rebid that.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, all right, motion passes. General construction, do we have a motion for this?
Motion to not rebid it.
This one we would like, you would like to not
No bids received, what was it?
well, there were no bids received, but the staff would like to rebid this, though.
Motion to rebid it.
All right, do we have a motion, do we have a second?
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
All right. Paving repair, once again, do we have a motion to rebid?
Motion to rebid.
Second?
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
There we go. All right, so we're set there. All right, do we have a motion to accept the septic tank pumping and sewer system repair bids from Elite Septic?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right. And then, do we have a motion to reject the electrical contract bid?
Motion to reject the electrical contract bid.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right. Okay.
Mr. Mayor, there's one more. We did the septic tank pumping, but we didn't do the sewer system repair.
I actually mentioned those both in the same
I combined
motion.
them.
Sorry, I confused you there.
I apologize.
I combined those in a
Okay.
single.
Thank you.
All right. Okay, item C is motion to update city planner contract. I assume this is what we discussed at retreat, switching to a monthly rate versus the hourly rate we'd been working with before
For planning service.
for planning services. And you've got the numbers here that we've all reviewed previously too, looking at what we were paying a month and what it averages out to, and this would be to go to $1,500 as a flat rate. Do we have a motion?
Motion to approve a contract for $1,500 retainer to Plans and More.
That's correct. Do we have a second?
Second?
Any discussion?
If I could interject here
Yes.
too, you may want to make sure that we get, remember I had made comments with respect to some technical corrections on the contract, so you may want to make sure that the motion covers, pursuant to the suggestions made by the county attorney, corrections. For example, there was a typo that has them getting paid $54.50 per mile. little things like that that we need to correct, so.
All right. Do we have a motion then to, I guess, to,
Ask if you would amend your motion.
can we do have an amendment to this motion to make it pursuant to the corrections of the city attorney?
Amend the motion to make corrections per city attorney.
Do we have a second for that motion?
Second?
Okay, okay. All in favor of the motion as, or of the contract as amended?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed, hearing none, motion passes, all right. Okay. Item D is first reading of ordinance 18-001, amending Title 11 of the Town of Kingston Springs Municipal Code to prohibit the throwing or depositing of litter or other materials upon any street, alley, sidewalk, or any other public or private place within the corporate city limits of the Town of Kingston Springs, to define litter and to provide a penalty for violation of this ordinance, to deal with some of our promotional material distribution methods. Would you like to just?
Sure. As you had asked last month, Dixon has an ordinance similar to this, so I basically took it and put it in a format where we are actually codifying it in our municipal code rather than a standalone ordinance. So you will now see this appearing in our code book. I did go through and tweak a little bit of language, so it will be slightly different from Dixon's, because Dixon's in some cases seem to apply just towards certain types of litter, and so I just basically made it all-inclusive, so not just paper or whatever. We've also got plastic cups and things like that. Like I said, just kind of tweaked a little bit to where I knew what y'all's concerns were with respect to some of the litter issues that we're having around town. There is a provision here for a penalty at the very end, section 11-714. I did not fill that in because I wanted to see what the pleasure of the body was. Typically, you know, a $50 per offense fine. A lot of times, if you wanted to set it, you know, to that level, or or less, $20, $25, depends on what your pleasure was. We can include that in this one.
And how does this, I mean, the state has a policy already in place for litters, and if it's up to 3 pounds or 5 pounds, it's $50. Past that, it rises. Does that exceed our ordinance at all, or is that in addition to? How does that work?
You mean if somebody were caught throwing out trash in the
Correct.
city, and
Right.
which would control basically?
Correct.
We would be able to cite them presumably under either one. I think ours seems, if it's based upon a pound thing, I think ours, we can get them for a piece of paper being thrown out the
Correct.
window or something like that, so.
It's like $50 minimum, and then up to 3 pounds, and then it's $150 for up to somebody. That's how the state
Yeah, ours is
law
just
has
a
it.
flat-
Whereas we could set
whatever
a
fine.
per incident, so say I was distributing promotional material by driving down the street, throwing it out my window. Each time I threw it out the window would be a separate offense.
Correct.
Okay.
So,
Gotcha.
And I did, because,
Otherwise, it's worth
I
it.
also did with the town case, I had already kind of first movement issues. And so I did make sure in here that nobody is being prohibited from distributing any kind of leaflets for advertising material, so long as it was being directly received by a person. So if you have somebody that's, standing on a street corner and specifically puts it in the hand, that's not illegal. If you have somebody sitting in their car and you specifically take it and they accept it from you, that is not illegal either. It's just putting things around town where it can easily blow around and litter. That's what we're trying to get our arms around.
yeah, exactly, just when it gets thrown out of vehicles.
Right, it gets thrown out of vehicles or left someplace where the wind can blow it, where it's not secured in place. Homeowners have to have their trash secured in receptacles as well, so.
Okay, so I suppose do we need to set a fine now?
I would.
Okay.
And then if you wanted to, this has to be a second passage on this, so.
We have to have a
if
second
you
reading,
determine-
so.
yeah, If you determine, after revisiting next week, you could change that. But that, I would recommend putting a fine on the first reading.
I mean, I think that $50 per incident is a little excessive. And maybe not, I guess that really hammers the home, but,
I think minimum,
I mean, I think we're kind of limited to $50 per incident anyway. I mean, that's the maximum that we can assign to anything. So I don't know. I mean, what's the pleasure of the board on this one?
$50.
Works for me.
Per incident. Okay. So we have a motion to approve ordinance 18-001 on first reading with a penalty of $50 per incident.
Motion to approve ordinance 18-001 with a penalty of $50 per incident.
All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Oh, did I not have a second?
Second.
Glenn seconded that, by the way. Sorry, I got ahead of myself there. All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Hearing none, motion passes. All
Was
right.
there a maximum? More than,
The language would just be changed to say shall be fined not less than $50 per offense.
perfect, okay, thank you.
All right, on to surplus items. We have a 2005 Ford Expedition, and they're requesting permission for that to be surplus to govdeals.com, a 2008 Ford Expedition with the same request, and a, I don't know what year model Taser with the
Can we,
same.
I'd like to make sure that
request.
taser is no good. Can we check the taser?
Only if you're volunteering.
I'm gonna have to get zapped around here, but.
So, do we have a motion to surplus these three items?
Motion.
Motion to surplus these three items. 2005 Ford Expedition, 2008 Ford Expedition, and Taser.
Gary, is that a second then, I guess?
Yeah.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, motion passes. We have no other items for discussion unless John,
No, sir.
anyone else have anything they want to throw in there? And then the reminders, of course, are the Easter egg hunt is this Wednesday at 10. The soccer season is starting, or sorry, this Saturday at 10. Sorry, soccer season is starting on Saturday as well, so it'll be a very, very busy Saturday at the park. And then, of course, the fire banquet will be a week from Friday. So
Who's attending the fire banquet?
I am.
I am.
Okay.
Are you going to be there, Gary?
Yeah.
I
I'm
think
not-
Gary's going to be there.
Fortunately, I'm gonna be leaving that Friday night,
Oh, okay.
heading south, so
Yeah.
I was
Well-
hoping that there would be coverage, things to be covered.
We have a
so I don't need to be
well-represented
there.
commission this
Excellent.
time, so that's good. That's good. I think you got thrown. It was
I
your
went solo
your
last
first
year,
year,
I
and you were required to
It's a
deliver
lot of fun.
remarks.
I
so-
enjoyed it.
I love
Yeah,
it.
I
yeah, it's a
appreciate
good event. So, all right, do we have a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right.